History here today as we bring you the first ever live broadcast softball game thanks to the tireless work of our director Adam Kitchen and the rest of the Swansea Community Network crew. Bit of overcast day here. Getting my affairs in order here as we begin. I just moments before first pitch here got the rosters for both teams. I'm just putting that in my book right now as we speak. The Cardinals come into this game with a 3-1 record, which I believe matches the Warriors coming in as well. Junior pitcher Lila Alvarez out on the mound for the Cardinals. Alvarez, the winning pitcher in the previous two state championship games. And she'll get started against the Seekonk Warriors. Starting off for Seekonk, center fielder Kelly Bosch, followed by pitcher Anya Fagundes, and shortstop Sarah Ricard will be the starting nine for the Warriors, and we're underway. Alvarez's first pitch misses a bit inside. A new spot for me. Usually I was in center field. I am down the left field line as we bring you this game live. A new spot that'll take some getting used to for me. After this batter, I'll take you through around the horn for the Cardinals infield. As Bosch swings and misses at that one, it'll be 1-1 to the Warriors leadoff hitter. Alvarez sets. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed by Bosch. It'll be 1-2 to the Seekonk center fielder. Case just off a 7-5 loss to Dighton Rehoboth. The Warriors coming in off of an impressive 26-0 victory over the Old Rochester Bulldogs in their last matchup last week. And Bosch in the air to right field, in between short and right, and it's caught in right field. And the first out is made. Take you around the horn for the Cardinals right now. Pitcher is Lila Alvarez. Catcher Olivia Williams. First base, Caitlin Duran. Let me get my second base, Mia Catano. Shortstop, the savior of the championship game last year, Aliana DeJesus. Third place, Aubrey Tukepi, the outfield. For you, Sydney Furtado will be in left. Meg Pereira will be in center. And Izzy Carvalho is the flex player playing in right. A whole new lineup and positions for me to get used to. Long gone are stalwarts Sky Dupree, Meg Smith is now a sophomore at Bryant University. Another foul behind from Fagundes for the Warriors. Bree Fonts, another standout player that just graduated. Ella Preston, just to name a few names. And swung on and missed by Fagundes, and she's down on strikes. And there are two away for Pereira. Not keeping track of pitches. That is her first strikeout. And three-hitter Sarah Ricard, the shortstop. And fouled behind. Doing this game solo, as you can probably tell. Hopefully I'll have some more friends for our future broadcasts. And, oh goodness, it almost hit me down the left field line. Adam Kitchen, I hope you saw that. I did. That was very close to taking me out of the announcing table over here. I'm glad that I missed. I got to say alert here. Ball rolled under one of the cars. I thought I was going to have to actually catch that ball. If you're wondering where I'm sitting, and that was pretty much right where it landed, you might be able to see me on the broadcast. And a called third strike ends the inning. Ricard goes down on strikes. And the Warriors go 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Starting nine for the Cardinals, batting leadoff will be Sydney Furtado, followed by Caitlin Duran, Meg Pereira, Olivia Williams, Eliana DeJesus, Aubrey Takepi, Mia Catano, Madison Silva, and Lila Alvarez. I did that last year too, I don't know why. Lila Alvarez will be hitting ninth. The flex player is Izzy Carvara. She is playing right field but not hitting. Said Madison Silva, the sophomore, will be hitting in her place for the Warriors. I'll take you around the horn for them. Pitcher is Anya Fagundes. The catcher will be Maggie Diaz. First base, Emma Queenan. Second base, Kelly Lineson. Third base, Shelby Quinn. Shortstop, Sarah Ricard. And the outfield for the Warriors, left field, Haley Boutine, Callie Bosch in center. And Ava Queenan will be in right. For the Warriors, Case will be facing off against pitcher Anya Fagundes, number 13, for the Warriors. As I received the Case starting lineup literally moments before opening pitch. So I am still getting caught up on that. As I said, Case is the three-time defending state champion. Brady Kuna and I brought you the last two championships. They did move up a division for this year. They are now D3 officially, so they'll be in the D3 state tournament at the end of the year, but they still play the typical schedule against the usual teams, Fairhaven, Bourne, Dighton, Rehoboth, Seekonk, etc. But come postseason time, it'll be a little bit different. And ball one there to Sydney Furtado, longtime designated base runner for the Cardinals, now getting her chance at the starting lineup, hitting leadoff and playing left field. She looks at the first two balls. Apologize for the frantic nature of how this game started. Again, I was literally had to sprint over to get this started. I didn't even have a complete lineup in front of me, but we are all good to go now. And Furtado looks at a called strike. It'll be 2-1 to Furtado against Fagundes. And that misses again. It'll be 3-1. This Case team, yeah, they're good. We thought they'd be regressing the year after they won their first state tournament. As Furtado puts that in the air to left center field, backs the left fielder, and snow cone catch is made by Boutine out and left. That was a very nice defensive play by the Warriors, and there is one down in the bottom of the first for first baseman Caitlin Durand. Durand, one of the senior captains, along with Meg Pereira and Izzy Janicki. Durand, a multi-year member of the team, often as a pitcher, would come in and relieve Alvarez late in the game. And she looks at a strike there. Interesting bat that she has. It looks like one of those firecracker popsicles with a red, white, and blue. I'm sure that was the intent. And ball up. Fagundes has one out here in the bottom of the first. Meg Pereira waits on deck. And tipped and fouled off of the umpire. That looks like that hurt. And time is called. Durand goes over to talk to Coach Shannon Silva. Cardinals have been to the last 4 state championships. They lost the first one, and then they won the last 3. They beat Hampshire Regional in 2024, and then the last 2, and that's a foul pop-up behind to the right. They played Tynesboro High School. Well, they faced the same pitcher in Kylie Hogan in both of them. It was Alvarez versus Hogan. In 2025, or excuse me, 2020, the first state championship was 2023, excuse me. In 2024 was the second one. They beat Tynesboro up at UMass Amherst 1-0. Last year was a rainy, miserable day at Worcester State. They won that one 7-6. Or 6-5, I don't remember. It was one of those with the same team, Tynesboro. On the ground to third. The play is made. The throw over is away. I think she would have been safe anyway. Duran on her way to second, and she's going to make it. That'll be officially, and I will be generous, I'll call that an infield single. She advances on the error. I think she was going to beat that out. That was not hit very hard. The error is made by Emma Queenan. No, she's made by Shelby Quinn at third. Cut away from Queenan at first. And Meg Pereira now up with a runner in scoring position. Pereira, another longtime member of this team. And she looks at a called strike. And fouled behind. If you're watching this game live, we appreciate your support here at Swansea Community Network. This is the first ever live softball game that we've done. Director Adam Kitchen in the Swansea Community Network van. Behind me, on the ground to third again. They look the runner back. Throw the first is made. The runner's going to advance to third. So Quinn gave Durand a glance, but Durand advances anyway. Pereira's out on the 5-3 putout. And there are 2 away for catcher Olivia Williams. Williams, a junior. Her first ever at bat, she crushed a home run. And that's a called strike. Cardinals still have a runner at third. 2 away in the top of the first. They did this all the time in the past. They'd have a quiet first inning and then explode in the second or third. And Williams in the air to right center field, and it's tracked down in center by Callie Bosch. And that ends the inning. Cardinals strand 1, and they pick up a hit. Four, 5, 6 due up for the Warriors. Quinn, Queenan, and Diaz. Checking the live broadcast stats right now. I don't see anyone watching at the moment, but they'll come in. We're up to about 25 viewers in the baseball broadcast last week. Somewhere in that vicinity. Windy, overcast day, but still we're already doing much better than we did last year in terms of spring broadcasting. We brought almost nothing last year just because of how rainy and wet it was all the time. This year we're doing a bit better so far. First lacrosse game, we did a first softball game. We've done a lacrosse and a baseball game. Alvarez, the junior pitcher, out. Ready to face 4, 5, 6 for the Warriors, the teeth of the lineup. Starting with third baseman Shelby Quinn, followed by Emma Queen and Maggie Diaz for the Warriors. Alvarez a couple years ago was an unknown pitcher coming in as a freshman. Didn't really know how good she would be. We don't think anyone expected her to be quite as dominant as she was. And she's still pitching here in her junior year. She's committed to play softball at URI. Well, she graduates from Case, but we still have 2 more years of softball action before that point for her. And in the air, seam down the left field line. That's going to be off the fence. Quinn heads for second. She's going to make it standing up. And the Warriors have themselves a double to get it started in the top of the second. First baseman Emma Queenan up to bat. And she looks at a ball up. Queenan, the first baseman for the Warriors, number 14. First hit of the game for the Seekonk squad. It's Quinn out there at second. And a cut on and miss. It'll be 1-1 to Queenan. Softball games are 7 innings. They usually go by pretty quickly. And fouled behind. Lots of foul balls back there. Game is played as usual at the Brown School Field here in Swansea, the typical home base of operations for the Cardinals. 4 straight state championship game appearances. And that misses low. It'll be 2-2 to Queenan. And cut on and missed. Alvarez picks up her 3rd K. And there's 1 away in the inning. Our catcher Maggie Diaz. And pop-up foul behind. It's one of those games where it's right in the middle of, I don't know if I need my sunglasses or not. I did bring them. So I'll throw them on now because the sun is starting to peek through a little bit. And a bunt is laid down. Beautifully done. And it will actually spin foul. I thought that was going to drop and fair, which it did originally, and then just the spin on that went foul. That would have easily moved the runner to third. Could have been a infield single on top of that for Diaz. Could be Dias, D-I-A-S. That wind picks up and a swing and a miss. Be 2 strikes on the Warrior catcher. Alvarez looking to work her way out of the jam, and she gets a strike. Actually, I apologize. Diaz was out on strikes. This is Boutine now. That's a ball low. I missed that. This is left fielder Haley Boutine. Made a snow cone catch in the last inning. That's a ball. 2-1. The umpire didn't have like a big thing to ring out that on the strikeout. That's what I was looking for too. New angle for me. We originally started on the right field line the first year we did these broadcasts, and then we went to center, and now we're back. That was off of the window of a bus. No harm there. And they'll send the fan out to get that ball. That's 2 strikes to Boutine, as Alvarez looks to work her way out of this. And she gets a high pop-up and foul again over the Case dugout. Alvarez will try again. Well, I keep calling her Pereira. That's Meg Pereira. I've had my book again as the pitching side is Pereira. I like that change. Still 2 strikes on Boutine. Alvarez sets. Here's the pitch. Fouled again. Good at bat by Boutine here. I'm sure would have reached base. Second baseman Kelly Lineson is on deck for the Warriors. Sunglasses are off now. And misses low. That'll be full now. Boutine with a good at bat, making Alvarez throw a lot of pitches. She already has 4 strikeouts. And here's the pitch, pop up in the infield. That should not go very far. And DeJesus is there for the out. And that concludes the top of the second. Warriors pick up their first hit, but they leave Shelby Quinn stranded at second, and it remains a scoreless game. As we head to the bottom of the second, it'll be 5, 6, 7 for the Cardinals due up to Jesus, to Kippy, and Catano. Head coach is Shannon Silva for the Cardinals. Assistant coaches are Jack Orton, Bob Baker, Julie Jervis, Hannah Chapman, and Olivia Silva. Athletic director Anthony Palladino. Athletic trainer for the Cardinals is Emma Slater. As I said before, the captains are Meg Pereira, Caitlin Duran, and Izzy Janicki. Happy to bring you another season of Case High softball. I've been doing Swansea Community Network for 50 years at this point. Well, not really. About 2008, so 18, coming up on 18 years I've been with Swansea Community Network. It used to be Swansea Cable Access. Again, my name's Tyler Clark. I was a graduate here at Case High 2009. I was cameraman for several years. About 2013, I switched over to doing announcing work. And I've been on and off, mostly on lately here with Swansea Community Network since, under the direction of Adam Kitchen. Jonah Carini out there too in center field at the camera work. Happy to bring you this game live. If you're watching this game live, we appreciate your support. If you're watching this after the fact, thank you for your continued support of small town media for Swansea Community Network. Eliana DeJesus up at the plate, the hero of the championship game last year with that home run in the 5th inning, which extended the Case lead. 5th or 6th inning, I don't remember which inning it was. It was late and seemed to short, but caught. A bit unlucky there. That was right at Ricard. She didn't even have to move. And there's one away. For Aubrey Tekepi, sophomore third baseman for the Cardinals. Anyone who watches this broadcast and I am mispronouncing any of the player names, see me at another game and I'll be happy to make that fix. I'll make sure I say everyone's names correctly. Tekepi is a sophomore third baseman for the Cardinals. Another very youthful team. 2 seniors in the starting lineup. Everyone else an underclassman carry for years to come. And that misses high. And that's a called strike. Kippy has 2 strikes. Fagundes pitching well. She gave up an infield single to Durand, who reached second on an error. And that's been it. And another called strike. Only 1 strike actually into Kippy before that. Now she's got 2. 2-2 to Aubrey. In and ready. Here's the pitch from Fagundes and grounded foul towards Shannon Silva. And she'll toss that over to Shelby Quinn, who gets it back to her pitcher, Fagundes. And that misses low, and Kippy works a walk. So the Cardinals with their first base runner of the inning. The second baseman, Mia Catano. Number 30, the number 7 hitter in the lineup for the Cardinals. Placing Sky Dupree, the longtime second baseman in the Case lineup. On the ground to the right side. Lineson going to go to first. The out is made. The runner advances to second. So Lineson fields that no problem. To Kippy on to second. And there's 2 away for Madison Silva. And that misses up and away. Silva, left-handed batter. She's the designated hitter in this game. She's not playing the field, at least not right now. And that's in for a strike. Kippy at second. Cardinals have had a runner in scoring position in both innings. Fagundes sets. There's the 1-1 pitch to Silva, and swung on and missed there. Looked like off speed there. 1-2 coming up to sophomore Madison Silva. On the ground to the right side. Lineson diving, gets by here to the outfield. They're going to hold the runner at third. Never mind, they're going to send her. Infield wasn't paying attention. She scores. And the Cardinals take the lead. So Silva picks up the RBI single. I thought Kippy was going to stop at third, but she just kept going and scored. And it's a 1-0 lead right now for the Cardinals on the Madison Silva single. Here's Alvarez. Slap hitter on the ground, back to the pitcher. She throws on to second. That was a dangerous play, but it's made. And that concludes the inning. The Cardinals get a run on a hit, and they end up stranding one as Alvarez does reach. But they lead at 1-0. I thought that Kippy was stopping at third, but then she just kept going, and the ball came in, and no one happened to look immediately, and the Cardinals took advantage. They lead 1-0. The Warriors plate will bring up, 8-9-1 to face off against Alvarez. Lineson, Ava Queenan, and then back to the top of the order for Callie Bosch. Alvarez looking tough as always. We've beaten this to death on this network before, but I'll just say it again about how impressively good Alvarez has been the last 2 years as the Case starting pitcher and winning pitcher in back-to-back state championship games. Doesn't throw very hard, doesn't have to. Has lots of movement on her pitches. That says a lot to have that spot locked up as your top starter since your freshman year, and that's exactly what she has done. Cardinals lead this one 1-0 here in the top of the third. As second baseman Kelly Linson, who's a member of the Seekonk field hockey squad as well, will be up to bat for the second time in 2 weeks that we've brought you a Case versus Seekonk game. We did Case versus Seekonk lacrosse last week. We don't usually plan the team that Case is facing when we schedule the games. It's just whatever the schedule allows for. And by coincidence, we've gotten 2 Seekonk games so far. Happy that you were able to join us as we watch your hometown Case Cardinals take on Seekonk. Linson looks at a called strike. It'll be 0-2. Linson, the 8-hitter. The Warriors have 1 hit. That was a Shelby Quinn double last inning. And she got no further than second. And ball low to Linson. Alvarez paces. Her infield is ready behind her. And another ball missing just low to be 2-2 to Linson here in the top of the third. Ava Queenan waits on deck. Gonna be back to the top of the order to follow. 2-2 from Alvarez coming up here. And pop up to Kepi is there, and no problem. One away in the bottom of the third. This is Ava Queenan, the presumable younger sister of first baseman Emma Queenan. And she fouls that behind near me and lands a few feet from me as I'll send the fan after that. Queenan, the number 9 hitter, right fielder for the Warriors, wears number 2. Alvarez ahead of her, 0-1 right now. And that misses high and away. Adjusting my microphone a little bit. And that's a called strike to Queenan. It'll be 1-2 to the Seekonk right fielder. Callie Bosch waits on deck. Alvarez looking for strikeout number 5 right here. And she gets it. 2 away as we kick back to the top of the order for Callie Bosch. For the Warriors, she flied to left field. Excuse me, to right field to get it started. Up for her second at bat. Alvarez just allowed the base runner on the double. That's it so far. Case still it leads this one 1-0. Not many fans here for this game, which I'm a little surprised by. It's a 4 o'clock start time. Usually you often see the fence surrounded by fans on each side of things, but not today. There's a smattering of fans in a few places, but not much more beyond that. Alvarez deals, line shot up the middle, base hit for Bosch. That might be more than one. Into the gap it goes. She's going to hold off at first as that ball comes in very quickly. And Bosch will settle for a long single. That was tracked down quite quickly by Pereira in center. And pitcher Anya Fagundes up for the Warriors, and she looks at a high ball. Bosch over there at first. The sun is out in full force now. Another ball outside. Cut out and missed. Another high ball. Alvarez needs to settle down. She's given up 2 hits. No runs so far. Still 1-0 lead for the Cardinals in the top of the third. Alvarez getting some cheers from her teammates. And that misses low, and it's a walk. So Fagundes draws a walk. Cardinals 2 outs quickly in the inning. The Warriors have 2 girls on for number 3 hitter Sarah Ricard, the shortstop. She struck out looking in the first, but now has 2 runners on. A single presumably would bring Bosch home, and that misses high. Alvarez a little wild in this inning. It's 1-0, and foul down the left field line, then that drops. It'll be 1-1 to Ricard. And another foul behind. Sounds like that clanged off the roof of a bus. Alvarez now ahead in the count. It's 1-2. He has 5 strikeouts. Looking for 6. That would get her out of the inning. And instead, it's a pop-up down the right field line, and that's going to go foul over the fence. Ricard with a good at bat, not keeping track of pitches, making Alvarez work a bit in this inning. Off speed, and that's rifled foul down the left field line. As Sidney Furtado goes and tracks that down. Good time for an off-speed pitch. And DeJesus gets that ball back to Alvarez. Alvarez will try again, and cut on and missed by Ricard. Took another off-speed pitch. Make it 6 Ks in the game for Alvarez. Warriors pick up another hit. They strand 2. And they trail in the game. Still, it's 1-0 in favor of Case. For the top of the order, Furtado, Durand, and Meg Pereira. For the Cardinals. Oh, it went from no music at all in this game to be having very loud music out there. I'd give Adam Kitchen a look, but he shut the door to the van. And the music has immediately stopped. For a few years, Sidney Furtado was the designated base runner often for Bury Fonts. Getting her chance to start this year, the junior utility player batting lead off against Fagundes. And here we go to the bottom of the third. The first pitch is a called strike. Furtado flew out to left field in her first at bat. Fielder Haley Boutine made a lovely snow cone catch out near the fence to put her away. And a ball outside. And Furtado will be down one. It'll be 1-1 right now. Furtado, Duran, and then Pereira to follow. It's 1-2-3 for the Cardinals. And that misses up. And Furtado looks at that one low. She's ahead 3-1. Obvious speed threat as that wind is whipping around now. Sunglasses back off, and Furtado works a walk. Cardinals would do this all the time last year. They'd get 1 or 2 runs in the first 2 innings, then just slam you for 8 runs in the third. They only did a few games here last year. One of them was against Seekonk. We also had a very tight game against Norton High School. Bunt is dropped down beautifully by Duran. The out is made at first. Furtado advances to second. So Duran out on the sac bunt for the first out of the inning. Furtado advances to second. And Meg Pereira up. She grounded to third in her first at bat, and she laces that one to center field. It is long and it's gone. Pereira demolishes that pitch over the center field fence. She picks up 2 RBIs, and it is 3-0 Cardinals. I see Randy Alvarez out there. They're looking for the ball now. I believe that's Meg Pereira's father out there with him. And that's fouled behind by Olivia Williams, who flew out to center her first time up. Well, that Pereira home run was a thing of beauty just now. That didn't just barely clear the fence. That was over by quite a wide margin. Sun is back out. Cardinals currently lead this one 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. 1 away for junior Olivia Williams doing the catching. And that misses low. And that's a rocket shot in the gap to left center field. Is that going to get down? That's off the fence. It almost got out. Williams touches first. On her way to second. She's going to be in standing. And it's a double for Williams. And the Cardinals have another runner in scoring position. Here's Aliana DeJesus. He lived that home run in the state championship game last year multiple times. She hit an absolute seam in her first at bat, but it went right to shortstop Sarah Ricard. And that misses high. So Williams at second. They did not use a runner for her, I don't believe. And that misses high again. No, that is still Williams over at second. Jesus ahead in the count here, 2-0. And that misses low. It'll be 3-0. In the past, Case has had a green light on 3-0. If it's a beautiful pitch, I'm guessing that Jesus will have a green light to swing. And she does not, and it's a called strike. It's 3-1. And fouled. And it's a full count now to Jesus. Here's the pitch, and pops it up in the infield. That's no harm there, as Ricard tracks that down. And there's 2 away for Aubrey Tkepi. Tkepi walked her first time up in a cut on and miss at an off-speed pitch from Fagundes. And he's behind 0-1. Cardinals lead 3-0. Bottom of the third inning. And fouled. Fagundes ahead of Tkepi, 0-2. If she were to reach, Mia Catano will follow. And swung on and missed. And that ends the inning. Fagundes picks up her first strikeout. The Cardinals strike for 2 runs and 2 hits. They strand 1. And they lead 3-0. Dominant program for several years. Been very fortunate to be able to bring you a number of Case victories on air over the years as the music starts again. Warriors will have 4, 5, 6 due up. Shelby Quinn, Emma Queenan, and Maggie Diaz facing off against Alvarez. Weather dependent, we have a number of spring sports that we're hoping to be able to broadcast for you this year here at Swansea Community Network. We've lucked out. We're 3 for 3 so far. No rain yet on any of them. Really nice days overall. Did lacrosse last week against Seekonk. I did that game with JJ Sylvia, excuse me. I did baseball on Friday as Case improbably beat Fairhaven High School. And now we have Seekonk versus Case softball today. Usually in a season, if we can bring you at least 3 to 4 games each, that's what we go for. Top 4, 3-0 Cardinals. Third baseman Shelby Quinn had a double off the fence in her first at bat. Hit it quite well. Now it's to left field as that wind picks up again as she looks at a ball low. Alvarez with 6 strikeouts through 2 innings. She gets ahead there. She has given up 2 hits and surrendered a walk. But the important part is no runs. And that off-speed pitch did not come out of her hand very well. That lands in front of the plate. It's going to be 2-1 to Quinn. That's a line shot into the gap in left field. As Furtado gets that in quickly. That was past the glove of DeJesus. And Quinn with her second hard hit of the game. She reaches on a single. And the Warriors will have a runner on to start the inning. First baseman Emma Queenan to the plate. She struck out her first time up. And she swings and misses there. Williams looks over at first, but does not throw. Shannon Silva's daughter, Olivia, was a longtime catcher for the Cardinals. Silva would catch it and then throw this absolute rocket down the line to pick off that runner, either at first or third. That happened numerous times. She just would absolutely unload on the ball down the line. And that's popped up in the infield. And fair ball. That was off of the glove of the pitcher, Alvarez. That was a lot of spin. And everyone is safe. That'll go as an infield single. Quinn up to second. That was just unfortunate from Alvarez. That just kept spinning and spinning away from her. So Quinn reaches on the infield single. And the Warriors suddenly have runners on first and second to begin the inning. On back-to-back singles. Coach Shannon Silva might have that in her book as a error. I'm putting it in as a hit because that was a lot of spin. And this is Maggie Diaz. She struck out looking her first time up. The Warriors with a good scoring opportunity. This is the second inning that they had runners at first and second, but this time with no outs. And that's a called strike. And that's a ball. Alvarez got to get out of this jam. Ball in the infield. A presumed double play chance for the Cardinals. And weakly fouled in front of the Case dugout. It'll be 2-2 to Diaz. Lily Boutine waits on deck. Alvarez with 6 strikeouts, looking for 7 here. And she gets it. That was a good time for that. Got her on the off-speed pitch. That's 7 Ks for Lila. Diaz down on strikes for the second time, and Haley Boutine up to the plate. The left fielder for the Warriors. She popped out to DeJesus to end the second. And she fouls that one. Actually, it might have been a swing and miss. I was hearing the contact from Madison Silva over there, I believe, taking some practice cuts. Off-speed pitch, but that's a little low and outside. The sun cannot make up its mind today. It's out. It's behind the clouds. It's out again. Sunglasses are back on for me. 1-1 coming up to Bettine. And on the ground, that could be 2. DeJesus going to go to third with it, actually. They're going to get the lead runner. And everyone else is safe. So Quinn is out on the force out for the second out. Queenan reaches second. And Bettine reaches first on the fielder's choice. I thought the Jesus would go 2 for a moment, but they'll take the force out at third. And the bases remain first and second for the Warriors. For second baseman Kelly Linson, she popped out to third her first time up. High pop up. And that lands with a thud near the administration building for Swansea Schools. A fan goes to get that. Alvarez doing what really she has done best for the last 2 years, pitching for the Case. She gets into trouble and then just makes strategic pitches and gets herself out of it. And he's behind here on lines, and it's 2-1. If Lionson reaches, 9-hitter Ava Queenan will be up. She waits on deck. Just a pitch from Alvarez, and that's up as well. 3-1 to Lionson. And that's up, and a walk. So there's a force at any base with 2 away. For Eva Queenan, 9-hitter for the Warriors. She struck out last inning, but a hit would score 2 and cut into this Case lead. It's still 3-0 Cardinals, and she swings and misses at the first one. And that's outside. It's 1-1 to Queenan. If he reaches base in any way, it'll score a Seekonk run. It's 1-1 count to her right now. And in the air down the left field line for Tato, going back. She doesn't get there. That's going to score at least 1. Here comes the second run for the Warriors. Into Jesus, lines into third. And Queenan plates 2 on the double. It's 3-2 Case. The Warriors cut into it. Now they have 2 girls in scoring position for the top of the order for Callie Bosch, who singled in her last at bat. She comes in 1 for 2, and that misses high. Queenan banged that off the fence down the left field line. And that's a bit up. Alvarez needs to compose herself. Case still leads 3-2. And swung and missed. That was a bad one that Bosch swung at. She knew it. Warriors have struck for 2 in the inning, looking to add. And pop up on the right side. Will that be playable by Durand? It is playable. And the inning ends. But the Warriors get 2 runs across on 2 hits. 2's everywhere, and they strand 2. It's 3-2 Cardinals. Halfway through this one, bottom 4 coming up. Thank you for joining us here for another sporting event here on Swansea Community Network. Watching this live our Swansea Community Network YouTube page, and we appreciate your support here at Swansea Community Network, or if you're watching this after the fact on local cable channel number 95 or on YouTube. And as always, every view matters. Please like the video, share it, let people know that, hey, we broadcast Case High School sports here in Swansea. Subscribe to Swansea Community Network on YouTube if you like more content. Lucy Cabral has her own show. She's not here today, but she's a often camera woman for Case High School. As I said before, my name is Tyler Clark, longtime announcer for Case High School, cameraman for several years. The late great Paul Summers was the broadcaster for a very long time, and then I took over in 2013. Still doing games to this day. Always love coming back to Case and broadcasting their games for everyone. 7-8-9 due up for the Cardinals. We're going to start with Mia Catano, the second baseman for Case. She grounded to second her first time up. And she swings at a off-speed pitch there. 1-1. Cardinals lead 3-2. And on the ground, in the hole, great defensive play, and save. She beats out the Sarah Ricard. That's a Herculean effort at short by Ricard. But Catano had the wheels, beats out the throw at first by about a step. And the left-handed hitting Madison Silva now up to the plate. Silva had an RBI single in her first time up. In the hole between second and first. And Catano on to second. She's going to get there almost unopposed. Softball, you have to wait till the ball crosses the plate in order to take off for second. And Catano in with a stolen base. Runner in scoring position now for the Cardinals for Silva. She already has one RBI. And that's up. Cardinals have back-to-back left-handed hitters in the 8-9 spot, and Silva works a walk. The third walk, surrendered by Fagundes in this game. This is Alvarez. Left-handed hitter, right-handed pitcher. She loves the swing of the first pitch, and she drops a bunt down beautifully there. The throw gets away. The run's going to come home, and up to third is Silva. Ball getting around, and now Alvarez up to second. So Catano scores. Silva on to third. Alvarez was just trying to sacrifice. She ends up reaching on an error, but it still goes in as a sack. And now she waits at second. The top of the order up for the Cardinals. They lead this one 4-2 now for Sydney Furtado. She's 0 for 1. She flied to left and then walked and scored in the Meg Pereira home run last inning. Furtado looks at a ball. Got two girls in scoring position. Silva's at third, and Alvarez is at second. Seam up the middle, base hit, that's going to score at least one. Alvarez is going to head on home, and 2 runs score. Don't things ever change for the Cardinals. Furtado picks up 2 RBIs. 3 are home in the inning. And Case leads 6-2. Caitlin Durand. She dropped down a sack bunt last time. That one goes foul. She had an infield single in the first. So she's 1 for 1. She dropped the sacrifice bunt down. That doesn't count as an at-bat, just a plate appearance. So it does not count toward the average. See if she tries to bunt again. She's got Furtado at first. 3 runs have already scored in the inning. And she will indeed try to bunt, but pulls it back. It's 1-1 to Durand. And she again tries to bunt it down. Beautifully done down the line. Scoop throw made to first. And Furtado up to second. So another sacrifice bunt from Caitlin Durand for the first out of the inning. And there's Meg Pereira, who destroyed the ball last time she was up, to center field. Looking to do the same thing again here. And instead blisters it up the middle, base hit. That's going to score Alvarez. Furtado coming around to score. Pereira up to second. And it's a double. And an RBI for Pereira. Alvarez had already scored in the inning. Furtado now scores. And it's 7-2. Only one out to Kippy. Not to Kippy. Oh God, I can't say anything right now. Olivia Williams is up. Kippy's in the hole. Williams is 1 for 2. She flied out and then doubled. And she looks at a strike there. It'll be 0-2 to Williams. Meg Pereira, now a senior. He's at second. Fagundo, foul from Williams. He's only got 1 strikeout in the game, does Fagundes. Looks like I got the player names now, too. I'm out of practice with softball. And Williams, a little chopper back to the pitcher. Throw on to first gets her. Pereira up to third. And Aliana DeJesus, 0 for 2. Line shot to short in her first time up, and then a little pop-up to short next time. She's looking to add to the lead. And she does. Blisters to right center field. That scores the run. DeJesus heading for second. The throw comes in. She dives and safe. Pereira scored easily. They got 5 runs in the inning for the Cardinals. They expand the lead. It's 8-2. And they've batted around as Kippy struck out to end the last inning. Now another runner in scoring position. Cardinals lead 8-2. They've scored 5 in the inning, looking for more, and a foul from Kippy there. And ball misses low and inside. And misses low again in the dirt. DeJesus does not advance. It's going to be 3-1. If Kippy reaches, Katana will be up, and the Cardinals will have officially batted around. And she indeed draws the walk. And Catano now up for her second at-bat of the inning. She got it started with a single and then later scored. And ahead of it there, down the third base line. That's a really tough play, and everyone's going to be safe. She hit that off the end of the bat with a perfect amount of spin. And everyone is safe. And here's Madison Silva for her second plate appearance of the inning. She walked earlier in the inning, and now she puts out on the ground to first. And they're telling her to step on the bag. And the inning is over. Queenan just had to take a step back. And that's exactly what she did. And that finally ends the inning. I'll give you some stats for this inning right now. The Cardinals plate 5 runs. Let's count the hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 hits. And unfortunately, they do leave the bases loaded. But they currently lead 8-2. We head to the top of the 5th. Warriors have 2, 3, 4 due up. That's Fagundes, Ricard, and then Quinn. Thank you for tuning in as always. Tyler Clark, Swansea Community Network. First ever live broadcast of a softball game. I don't think I see many people tuning into this one live, but you know, that's okay. This game will be put on the Swansea Community Network YouTube page for anyone to watch and follow after the game anyway. So the Warriors struck for 2 last inning. They gave a Queenan double, which at the time made it 3-2. And then the Cardinals just do their thing and got 5 runs in the bottom of the inning. So the Warriors currently trail by 6. But Fagundes, Ricard, and then Quinn will be up. Fagundes comes in 0 for 1. She struck out in the first, worked a walk in her last appearance. Coming in against Alvarez. Alvarez has surrendered 4 hits in the game and 2 runs, but she does have 7 strikeouts. That misses low. Umpire just had, looks like Takepi just gave something to the Seekonk coach. I don't know what she had in her, like a bracelet maybe. I'm not really sure what that was. And a called strike. And that's going to be 1-2 to Fagundes. Sarah Ricard waits on deck, the 3-hitter for the Warriors. And misses low. Be 2-2. Alvarez paces a bit. See someone warming up in the Case bullpen. It is really hard to see the Case numbers. It's maroon on black. Can't tell who that is. A foul pop-up clanging off the top of a bus. Looks like it might be Daniela Williams, number 10, warming up in the Case bullpen right now. On the ground, back to Alvarez. And throws on to first, and there's one quickly away in the top of the 5th. Sarah Ricard struck out twice. First time looking, second time swinging for the Seekonk offense. And foul down the left field line. Just barely. That was actually a lot closer to fair territory than I originally thought. The three-hitter for the Warriors looking to put the ball in play for the first time this game. And she does here, up the middle, base hit for the Warriors. As Ricard with her first hit. Warriors, that's their fifth hit. So they've been putting the ball in play in general. They just had not been able to piece together any runs until last inning. But they have a runner on with one away for Shelby Quinn, who comes in 2 for 2. Two very hard hit balls. And that ball is a hit by pitch, actually. I saw that the ricochet on that was a little off. So Quinn is hit by the pitch. She reaches first. Ricard up to second. And Emma Queenan is 1 for 2, a strikeout. She singled and scored in the fourth. And she puts that in play down the first base line. Excuse me, that went foul. Duran gave it a look, but clearly foul. Case still leads 8-2. Top of the fifth, one away. 2 runners on for 5-hitter Emma Queenan, first baseman for Seekonk. And she looks at the ball low. Quinn is taking an absolutely enormous lead at first. She can't go anywhere because Ricard's at second. And down the left field line, Furtado going to have that playable. No, off the fence. That's a fair ball. Seekonk was confused. And as a result, it's a very long single for Queenan. Ricard held up. I'm not sure if she thought it was foul, but regardless, Seekonk now has the bases loaded. Queenan with a very long single. That's what she'll have to be content with. And it's Maggie Diaz, the catcher. She's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But Seekonk offense still coming alive. And she looks at a ball outside. Warriors have the bases loaded, only 1 away. In the top of the fifth, they trail by 6. Alvarez has another jam to work out of. And ball low. Fortunately, she's behind here. It's 2-0 to Diaz. And it's 3-0. That's about the worst spot you want to be in now. A ball will score a run. And a pitching change might be in order for Case to follow if that were to happen. Alvarez still can work out of this. And that's in for a strike. It's 3-1. And a little pop-up down the right field line. Is the Red going to play that? No, off the fence. That could have been a get-out-of-jail-free card with a foul pop-up. But instead, it'll be a full count. 3-2 to Diaz. Bases still loaded. Can Alvarez get out of it here? Here's the pitch. And misses low. Diaz works a walk, picks up an RBI. And Shannon Silva out. We'll see if there's a pitching change. It looks like that there is. So the Warriors now trail by 5. It's 8-3. Looks like Caitlin Duran going to get the ball. And indeed she will for the Cardinals. I think Pereira might be sliding over to right. Regardless, Duran is in there. Facing a difficult bases-loaded situation. And I'll step away for a moment to give her time to warm up. Duran has finished her warm-up pitches. And she's quickly ahead here of Haley Boutine. Boutine comes in 0 for 2. Popped that reach on a fielder's choice and later scored in the 4th. Duran throws very hard. Off-speed pitch there, though, beautifully done. Head of Boutine here. 0-2. Seekonk has the bases loaded, only one out. And that's a little out. 1-2 to Boutine. Yeah, she thought about it, did not swing. Bases are still loaded. It's 8-3 case. Could be Booten. I'm not really sure how to say her last name. And that skips behind Williams. That'll score a run. So Quinn comes home to score on the wild pitch. Everyone else advances a base. It's 8-4 case. And on the ground, that's kind of in no man's land. The play to first way late. And it's an RBI single for the Warriors. Continuing to show fight in the inning. It's 8-5. Kelly Leinson with first and third. I presume that Boutine's going to be off for second here. And Leinson puts it on the ground. Back to Duran. The out is made at first. The runner's going to come home. And she's safe. Diaz had to put her motor on to score. Leinson is out on the ground out. Picks up an RBI. But the 4th Seekonk run of the inning is in. It's 8-6 case. Another runner at scoring position. The 8th batter of the inning for the Warriors with Ava Queenan. She's 1 for 2. She struck out in the 3rd and a 2 RBI double in the 4th. This has turned into a high scoring contest. She pops that up and off the top of the batting cage. Warriors with 4 home in the inning. Good offensive showing from both teams, really. And that misses high again. On the ground to short to Jesus. Gonna make the rifle throw to first. And the inning is over. Pereira actually was now playing first base, and Alvarez was in center. But that ends the inning. The Warriors get home 4 runs. 1, 2, 3 hits, and they strand 1. It's 8-6. This is a good game right now. The Cardinals batted around and then added a couple more last inning. They scored 5 in the 4th.
Way to battle, Haley.
Case has 9-1-2 due up. Alvarez, Furtado, and then Durand. Very high scoring game. Cardinals lead this one 8-6. As we head into the 5th. So I'm missing any runs, but I believe that's what we have. Check the live feed and make sure that I'm not misspeaking. That's what Adam Kitchen also has. We are in the 5th inning, so if the Cardinals manage to score 8 or more runs, the mercy rule would take effect. Most of the games that we've done the last couple of years ended up being a 10 or more run mercy rule that was not planned. That was just a coincidence. Alvarez in the air down the left field line. Over the head of Boutine. Alvarez on her way to second. She's thinking 3. She's going to try it. Alvarez heading to third. She's going to make it. And Alvarez is in with a triple to get it started in the 5th. It's just over Boutine's head. Out and left. And the Cardinal train will continue as we kick to the top of the order for Sydney Furtado. Furtado comes in 1 for 2. She flied out in the 1st, walked and scored in the 3rd, and then singled in 2 runs in the 4th, and then also scored. Furtado on the ground to short. That's going to score a run. The throw to first is going to get her by a step. So Alvarez in to score. Furtado with the RBI ground out. It's 9-6 Case. And it looks like a pinch hitter for the Cardinals is going to be number 10, Daniela Williams. A freshman, left-handed hitter, will be up. The base is empty. Williams looks at a ball up and away. So Williams hitting for Durand here. And on the ground up the middle, base hit for Williams. And that ball gets in pretty quickly. And Williams reaches on the single. And it's Meg Pereira time. 2 for 3, ground out in the 1st, crushed a home run, picked up 2 RBIs in the 3rd, then crushed a double, picked up an RBI and then scored. And a high pop up in the infield. Seekonk may be out of major danger there, and they are. Pereira pops it up to the pitcher. And significant danger avoided for Seekonk. Now it's Olivia Williams. She's 1 for 3. Fly out in the first, a single, and then a ground out. And her 3 at bats. Daniela Williams over there at first. I see Alvarez warming up again for Case. I'm curious if they're going to put her back in. They are allowed to do that. And that ball is up. Williams back to first. Sun is out again. Doing a dance with my sunglasses, on and then off, on and then off. And that is up to the junior catcher for the Cardinals. They lead 9-6 in the bottom of the 5th. And that's in for a strike. And high, pop up down the third base line. Is that going to be playable for Quinn? It sure is. And that's the end of the inning. Williams pops out to Quinn. The Cardinals get another run across on 2 hits. And they strand 1. We currently have 9. They lead at 9-6. Girls last inning. They have the top of the order due up here with Bosch, Fagundes, and Ricard. It's just a matter of what pitcher they're going to be facing. Well, it's not going to be Duran because she's back out at first. Fortunately, if there's any sort of discussion, I'm not going to be able to hear what it's about. I think Alvarez is going to be back on the mound. And that's what it looks like, and it is. So Alvarez is back out. Needed a bit of a reset last inning, and that's what she got. That means Durand is back at first. Pereira presumably will be back in center. And Williams throw down to the Jesus. And here we go on the top of the 6th. Cardinals currently lead this one 9-6. This is still anyone's game. It's a very good game overall. Callie Bosch, leadoff hitter for the Warriors, comes in 1 for 3. She flew out in the first, singled in the third, and popped out in the fourth. She was the only member of the lineup to not hit last inning. They plated 8 hitters against Alvarez and Durand. And Bosch swings there. I think. I couldn't tell. And blisters that down the right field line. Drops in fair. They're going to try to get her in first. But she was pretty clearly safe. That was Carvara in right field that tried to double her up. But Bosch reaches on the single. a little more inland, or in the middle of the field than I originally thought. But the Seekonk offense is still hitting quite well. Up to 6 runs in the game for pitcher Anya Fagundes. She's 0 for 2, struck out in the first, walked, and then grounded to the pitcher to start the 5th. And then following her 4 consecutive girls reached base and scored. And she looks at a strike. Case leads 9-6, top of the 6th. Very, very good game overall. First broadcast softball game of the year, first ever live broadcast game. And that's inside, 2-1. Fagundes still pitching for the Warriors. This would certainly be helping herself out. And on the ground, back to Alvarez. She knocks it down. Play made at first. Bosch up to second. But the Cardinals get the first out of the inning. That's a very good defensive play from Alvarez to get a glove on that, knock it down. That could have been up the middle for a single. 3-hitter Sarah Ricard, shortstop for the Warriors. She's 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and then singled. Really got the inning started for the Warriors last time out, and then scored. And down the right field line, over Carvara's head. That's going to score a run. Here comes Ricard into second, standing, and it's an RBI double. It's 9-7. Shelby Quinn, who has 2 very hard hits in the game. She doubled and singled. She was also hit by a pitch in the 5th and then scored. But Seekonk very much alive as Alvarez gets ahead here, 0-1. Nine-7 Case lead as we play the 6th. And ahead here, 0-2 is Alvarez. The tying run is at the plate, which is Quinn. Ricard at second, and Quinn foul tips that behind, stays alive. And McQueenan waits on deck. And misses high and away. Seekonk showing a lot of fight right now. They've got 1 home in the inning. They're down 9-7. Here's the pitch from Alvarez. And misses high again. It'll be 2-2 to Quinn. Quinn, an excellent hitter, as you've seen earlier in this game. And swung on and missed. That is massive for Alvarez. Quinn down on strikeouts. Alvarez picks up her first strikeout since the 4th inning. She's got 8 in the game. And it's Emma Queenan. 2 for 3. Now the left into the gap. Make that 3 for 4. That's going to score Ricard. Queenan into second, standing. And it's 9-8 Case. And I'm wondering if another pitching change is going to happen here. That's what it's looking like. And Duran going to get the ball back. Alvarez going to head to center. And Pereira going to grab the first baseman's mitt and head to first. But this has turned into quite a game. Case still leads 9-8. The Warriors have never actually led in the game. This is the second time they've come within a run. It's catcher Maggie Diaz. Duran was all ready to go. The umpire wasn't even ready yet. Diaz is 0 for 2. She has 2 strikeouts and then walked in the 5th. Actually picked up an RBI on that and then later scored. On the ground to second. Play made at first. And that ends the inning. The Warriors not making this easy. They scored 2 on 3 hits. And they strand 1. Egads, it's 9-8. Case still barely clinging to the lead. And just an overall excellent game. Good choice for our first game of the year. Thank you for the comment on the live feed. Cardinals have 5, 6, 7 due up. DeJesus, Tekepi, and Catano as they still lead by 1 run. Unless there ends up being a pinch hitter, which I truly can't see the numbers. That is definitely DeJesus getting ready to hit, so not her. But anyone to follow. It's still Fagundes out there pitching the Warriors. I thought they'd possibly consider it a change by now, but she still has the ball. Case leads 9-8. One of the closest games I've seen here in several years. DeJesus is 1 for 3. A line out, a pop out, and then a double and an RBI. Then the 4th. Looking to get it started in the bottom of the 6th. The first pitch is the ball outside. Jesus, a sophomore shortstop for the Cardinals. He replaced the defensive vacuum of Lily Picard that was there for, I believe, all 4 years that she played. And DeJesus ahead 2-0. Aubrey Tekepi waits on deck. And a called strike. 2-1 on DeJesus. And ball inside. Case bench is chanting 3 balls. Reminder to DeJesus about that. And that's a strike. Fagundes has 3 walks in the game.
All the way back, are you?
3-2 pitch to DeJesus. High, pop up down the left field line. Mateen is back and makes the catch.
Beautiful.
It was not a very easy play either. Into the sun and against the fence. But the first out is made. Aubrey Tekempe up to the plate. Aubrey's the only one in the lineup that struck out for the Cardinals. She's 0 for 1 with 2 walks. She also scored in the second inning. And high, pop up down the left field line. And the catch is made. Another excellent play out there in left.
Last is the rest of the year. Sunglasses every day. I don't care if it's raining.
That's 2 straight, extremely difficult plays out in left field that were both made into the sun. And there's 2 away. In the bottom of the 6th for Mia Catano. We can make it 3 out in left field. Catano's 2 for 3. She's got 2 singles. He also grounded out. She later scored in the 4th. And that's going to be up and in. Renee only with 1 strikeout. This Case offense just does not strike out very often. You see it year after year. They're always putting the ball in play. And Catano looks at another high ball.
All the way back.
3-0. Catano may not have a green light here, preserving this lead. And she doesn't swing anyway. And works the walk. It's the 4th walk for Fagundes. And Madison Silva is 1 for 2. Looks at a ball up and away. Silva singled, picked up an RBI in the 2nd. She walked and scored in the 4th and then grounded out to first to end the 4th. Catano at first. Silva looks at a ball up and away.
Oh, you on you. Right to the glove. You got this.
Silva, a left-handed hitter. Alvarez on deck. Should Silva reach. And into the gap, in over the center fielder's head, and it's back off the fence now. They're going to send Catano. Catano heading home. Silva standing into second. The throw is high. Silva on her way to third. And it's an RBI double for Madison Silva. She advances to third on the throwing error. And it's 10-8 Cardinals. That was a valuable insurance run on the double for Madison Silva. Alvarez now up. And she swings at the first pitch. High. Pop up in the infield. Ricard is there. Makes the out. But Case plates a valuable insurance run. They pick up a run on a hit. They strand 1. They currently lead this one 10-8. And an excellent game against Seekonk as this one heads to the top of the 7th. Warriors will have 7, 8, and 9 due up. It's a matter of who's going to be pitching. It looks like Durand is going to stay out there for Case. As Pereira still warming up the infield at first. And Alvarez is presumably going to be out in center. Well, it's been a fantastic game. Seekonk has never led, but they've come very close multiple times. They were trailing 3-2. Back in the fourth, they battled back. And then they were down 8-6. And then it was 9-8. And now it's 10-8 as the Cardinals hold on to it. That could have been an enormous insurance double and RBI from Madison Silva last inning. As Boutine swings and misses here at the first pitch. She comes in 1 for 3. She popped out. She reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the fourth. And then singled, home run last time. Ball low. Durand checking her wrist for pitches. And swung at a miss by Boutine.
You're on it, Haley. Stay right on it.
The left fielder for the Warriors who just made back-to-back excellent defensive plays last inning. She looks at a high ball. 2-2. Been a great game. Cardinals lead 10-8. In the top of the seventh, and line shot to left. That's a hit by Furtado. That's going to get Boutine to second, and that's where she will stay. So she reaches on the single, and advances to second on the error that careened away from Furtado. And the Seekonk rally is going here. Lineston is the tying run at the plate. She's 0 for 2. And looks at a ball up. Lineston's popped out to third, walked, and had an RBI ground out in the fifth. And that's down the line to left and foul. The 1-1 to Lineston. Number 9 hitter Eva Queenan waits on deck. Warriors looking to rally. Case leads 10-8. And Lineston swings and misses at the off-speed pitch. And Durand ahead here, 1-2. And Lineston, a little weak pop-up caught by Durand. And the Cardinals have a crucial first out. It's Ava Queenan. She's 1 for 3, a strikeout in the third. A 2 RBI double off the fence in the fourth that got the scoring started for the Warriors. And then a ground out. And that's a foul tip. Runner goes back to second. Cardinals lead 10-8. Kaylin Durand on the mound. Ahead 0-1 on Ava Queenan. And a swing and a miss. It's going to be 0-2 to Queenan. Cardinals clinging to the lead, 10-8. Callie Bosch waits on deck. Queenan on the ground to third. Kepi's throw to first is made. The runner advances to third. So Kepi takes her time, makes the throw. Warriors down to their last out. And it's Callie Bosch. Bosch comes in 2 for 4. Flew out in the first, singled in the third, popped out in the fourth, and then singled and scored in the sixth. The run on third means nothing. Bosch swings at the off-speed pitch and spins it into the dirt at home plate. And Durand is ahead 0-1. One out to go for Case. Bosch, a little pop up the middle. That's going to drop. Base hit. And the Warriors, they're hanging in there. It's 10-9 Case. Pitcher Anya Fagundes up. She does not have a hit, but she reached base on a walk. She struck out in the first, walked in the third, and then had back-to-back ground outs to the pitcher in the fifth and sixth. Case still an out away from victory. But the go-ahead run is at the plate. That's Fagundes. Bosch is the tying run at first. Cardinals lead 10-9 in the top of the seventh with 2 away. Kaylin Durant pitching to her opposite, Anya Fagundes, and misses up. Warriors looking to come to Case and snatch an upset victory in Swansea. Pop up into the outfield. Will that be caught? It's caught in center. And with little fanfare, that is the final out of the game as Alvarez tracks that down. My goodness me, what a game we just witnessed. Warriors get 1 home on 2 hits, and they strand 1. Case wins this one. Final score 10-9 here at Brown School Field. So for Tyler Clark, Swansea Community Network, thank you for tuning in and joining us. Hope you have a lovely night, and we'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.